Hello friends, welcome to another episode of Magnum Videos. If you recall, at the end of the last video I told you that in the next video we were going to do another project outside to work on that compacted clay soil with a totally different approach. Well, that's not going to happen today, and I'll explain why in a minute. But what we are going to do today is something that you may find as interesting or perhaps even more interesting depending on where your interests lie. We're going to do it inside, and it's going to be fun. And well, we're not going to do all of it inside, but part of it. And first, let me explain why we're not doing that outside project today, and we'll talk about this whole thing right after this. When I woke up this morning, it was raining, and it had been raining for quite some time. The ground was very wet. It was very cold. It was in the 30s, and as the day went on, the temperature dropped, and it snowed for a little bit, and then it started sleeting. Things started freezing, so I decided that we would not do the video outside today because of the inclement weather, and instead we're going to do something inside. So what we're going to do is go downstairs to my green screen studio, and I'll show you, and that word is kind of a euphemism. It's just basically an unfinished storage area in the basement where I've hooked up a green screen and some lights. But I wanted to show you how I have it set up so that if you've ever wanted to do green screen, but you've hesitated because you thought it might be very expensive, I can assure you that it's not expensive, or it doesn't have to be expensive. So let's go downstairs and I'll show you exactly how I have mine set up. And then I'll film a little bit down there, and I'll show you the quality that you can get from doing it on the cheap. So I'll meet you downstairs. Alrighty, let's go downstairs. And hold on a minute. Alright, we're going to go downstairs, and I'll show you how I have my green screen set up. And this is something you can do just as easy as I did. Well, we're going into the storage area now. This is just the unfinished part of the lower level. And what we're going to look at is first of all, we'll look at the green screen. Okay, there's the back of it. You can buy these on Amazon for as little as 14, 15 bucks, and it's just a piece of kind of a velour material. It's just fabric, and I have mine clamped onto the beam up above, and there are a few wrinkles in it here and there, but that's not going to be an issue, and I'll explain why in just a minute. As far as the lighting is concerned, these are just your regular $6 or $6.99 or whatever they are work lights from Lowe's or Home Depot. I've just got them plugged into an extension cord and put onto a little switch over here. I have the camera set up here, and I have the location where I need to stand marked. I didn't mark it because there's a crack in the, or a saw cut in the floor right there, which is exactly where I need to stand to be in focus with the focus that I have set on the camera. One thing I would highly recommend is that if you have an autofocus on your camera, take it off. Manually focus it. Set a tripod or something at the location you want to be. You can put some masking tape on the floor to mark your spot like they do in the movies. And set your manual focus so that it's set up to where you want it to be, and then you can just go to that spot after you hit the record button and you'll be in focus. One other thing that I would highly recommend, if you can, is to get a lens that has a fairly wide aperture. Now this, I'm using the Nifty 50 from Canon. It's a 50mm f1.4, I think, which gives you a real narrow depth of field, so that when you are standing 2 or 3 feet from the screen, so that you don't have a shadow on there. If you're closer, you're going to have a shadow, but if you're out here farther, you won't have a shadow. You're going to be in focus because you've already got the camera set up for your focus. But the screen, since it's 3 feet behind you, it's going to be in a real soft focus, which is going to eliminate any imperfections, any wrinkles, or anything like that when you do your green screen chroma key in your editing. So that's basically how I have this set up. So you've got, let's say you've got the screen for 15 bucks, you've got $6 a piece for the lights, that's another 12, so you're under $30 altogether. Now the Nifty 50 lens, they're not expensive either. If you need one, they're like 125 bucks or so at Best Buy. So and they're a great lens as far as getting a real narrow depth of field and a real wide aperture. So let me turn this camera off and I'll do a little bit of green screen production here, some film or some video, and we'll take a look at how it comes out after it's edited. All right, as I was explaining in the previous section, we have the lights turned on, we have the green screen behind us. I am standing in the exact location I need to be in order to be in focus from the manual focus that I did earlier. And we've got the camera rolling. I have put a background behind me when I did the editing. You can use any kind of background you want. You can use any color of background you want. Just depends on what your wardrobe is and how you want it to look in the final film or the final footage. You can also put a photograph behind there if you want, and if you'd like to, you can put some video back there. Whatever you want to put back there, you can, and then all you have to do is, when you're in the editing portion, just drop whatever background you want in there and do the chroma key function, and it should come out great. So, also I'm standing about 2 feet from the green screen so that we don't have a shadow cast back there. And I think that's really everything you need to know. I do have the 50mm Canon lens on there, which gives us a real shallow depth of field so that the green screen is going to be kind of in a soft focus and any imperfections are going to disappear. And I think that's everything that you need to know. If this is something that you've always wanted to try, it's only going to cost you maybe 30 bucks to get into it and see if you like it, see how it could be something that would add another dimension to your YouTube channel or your productions for YouTube. And it's fun. I think you'll enjoy it. It's a learning experience and you'll figure out things that you never knew before. So, I think that's it for now. I hope you'll leave a comment down below, leave any questions you might have down below. I'll be more than happy to answer them. And until I speak with you again, and even after that, you stay focused. All right.